as I'm getting older, bro, man, the tribe is starting to lose people here and there. So it's down to just 3 of us now. I try to see these dudes as much as I can now.
I heard that, man.
I'm going home Friday for the same reason. It's my brother-in-law's birthday, but everybody's coming up. My mom, both my sisters.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And same reason. Like, we getting older and people is disappearing.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, look, I'm gonna intro the show now. We're gonna start. Hey everybody, how you doing? My name is Brad Sanders.
Ready. Ha ha, very funny, motherfucker. And now, ladies and gentlemen,
This is This Comedy Life, the podcast that talks about anything, not everything, because some stuff you don't want to tell nobody, but anything comedy. Being a comic, the life of a comic, whatever it is. I'm just excited to have our guest with us today. We got Mr. Affion Crockett in the building, and we got Mr. Joey J-Dub Wells in the house. Good to see y'all, man.
Good to see y'all.
Good to see y'all. This bring back memories right here.
Oh, yeah.
The original crew right here.
Yeah, and I don't think about this. What's Poppin joint right now?
Right.
Yeah. Wax and Ray Sean.
Right. Facts.
What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'?
People are losing their mind. The crime chasers, kids are time wasters.
What's poppin'?
For the love of the Lord, the street, the money, the rhymes, the beat.
I'm just really excited to have y'all here. It's good to see you, man. You're looking good. You're having all these birthdays. It's good to see you keeping up with your people, man, because you talking about your tribe thinning out.
Oh, man. I'm sorry, Brad.
Your tribe.
My bad, OG.
Yeah, man. Yeah, let us bow our heads for a word of prayer. In remembrance of those who have departed one way or another.
You don't even think about it as I trip off this. Hey, when I met you, bro, I was 31, 32.
Yeah.
That was it. And you don't even trip. And then all of a sudden, somebody call you OG and say, man, I can need some advice on something. And you like this. Advice on what? And they start talking. You go like this. Man, let me tell you something. Because oh shit. So I start saying stuff like this. They wasn't always letting us on them cruise ships. Y'all, they let y'all on the cruise ship. And I'm like, how old am I now?
I'm going to tell you, when somebody that was not my nephew first time said "unk" to me, I was like, I had to look around. Like I was like, wait a second. What? I looked at the calendar. I was like, wait, are we here? We're actually here now.
Unk can bother me so much because I've technically been an uncle since I was 11.
Yeah, so but somebody that ain't your nephew or your niece, when they say "unk" on the street, just on
that part, yeah, that part. Hey, but I watch you in the dance world. I'm like, Ink is still out there. Well, he out there with it. I don't see nobody go on. Can I talk to you real fast?
They be doing it though. Somehow, youth can identify old niggas. I don't know how they do it, but they do it.
By comparison, that's how they do it.
But look, there's still a sector of people that don't know my age and they think I'm younger, but the ones that know be like, oh, what? My fault, Like walking in the mall, they be like, oh, my fault, You know what I mean? If they bump into me or something, I'd be like, all right, well.
Man, I thought it was
following you though.
That's true.
Yeah, I thought it was just me.
Oh.
And I'm up in here with the old crew right up in here.
Brad.
Yes,
so
sir.
Brad, when was the first set that you did at not the Laugh Factory, but at the Comedy Store?
The first set I did.
What year was that?
Let me see. Hold on. You see this? You see this right here?
Oh wow. Oh wow.
That was my first set.
Damn.
No, I mean, it wasn't that bad, man. No, at the Comedy Store.
You know what? You could almost either the year or you could tell us who else was performing in there. That'll give
we'll know.
Yeah, you don't even have to say the year. Don't say the year. Just tell us who was in there on the lineup and everything.
The two of us is gonna know the year.
Okay. Yeah. All right. John Witherspoon, Marshall Warfield.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Tom Dreesen, George Miller.
That was 1983.
Jay Leno.
Ooh, that might be before 83.
Yeah, Jay Leno.
81.
Elaine Boozler.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Was the King in there yet? He was in there. By Pryor.
Oh yeah. It was, he was there. He was there long before that. But yeah, Joey Gaynor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Joey
Well,
Gaynor.
I'm gonna throw out 78.
Okay. You close. You close.
Close.
Mitchell Walters. That's somebody you ain't even know. No. Okay, Mitchell Walters. I told you, John Witherspoon.
And we talking about a young Witherspoon. Now we ain't talking about Bam 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 yet.
Yeah, we talking about Afro.
Yeah. We talking about tenny short wearing spoon. We talking about short sleeve. We talking about going and play basketball spoon right now.
The Richard Pryor show with the spoon.
Yeah. You got 78. Okay, you close. You close. Let me see if I can think of somebody else.
I said 80.
No, you closer. You closer with 78.
I first said 83, and then when you kept naming it, I said 81. I went down.
Okay.
But at 78, he say I'm close and I'm still not on it.
It must be 76 or 77.
Dave Letterman.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. And we talking about a young Dave Letterman. Okay, this is before. Okay.
We're talking about Dave Letterman before he had the show.
Yeah, before he was David.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll think of some more later on, but right now you're close. You're pretty close. Anyway, it's going to be 1976.
Woo! You hit it, Dave.
Woo!
Yeah.
Wow.
I was 3 years old, Joey.
Hey.
3 years old, Joey.
I'm 8. I'm in the 3rd grade.
What was the first time you started doing comedy, and why did you start doing comedy?
So if I go the first time I walked on stage as a comedian, I would have to say I had graduated from San Jose State, and here's the thing, I always wanted to do it. I just didn't know how. So I looked at comedy as like those people on TV were special. Like them people, man, they all were different, man. Them people were cut from a different cloth. And Larry Lala, I don't know if y'all remember Larry Lala. So, dude, I'm at San Jose State. Larry Lala was going to San Jose State. And he was doing comedy at the school. And he messed around and got on Pilo. And I don't remember if you remember that classic act he had when he was walking around and the music playing in the background. So he does that. Everybody like, man, that's Lala. But people still talked about him differently, though. They were just like, that nigga trying to be a comedian. Like, he trying to be a comedian. Because we all looked at comedians as like Eddie Murphy. Yes. So I remember, this is how I remember one time. I'm in a group, I'm talking to my frat brothers. Shout out to Phi Beta Sigma. We talking and somebody they go, Lala, hey, that nigga still trying to do comedy. And I'm like this. Yeah, that nigga be trying to tell jokes. We making fun of it.
Yeah.
He walk up, everybody go, hi, what up? I'm like, go, hey, y'all. They go, hi. He walk by, everybody laughing. I go, man, let me get out of here. Lala's going this way. I run this way, and I run around the campus to catch him. And I catch him at this building, and I go, hey, man, what you doing over here? He like, nigga, I'm going to class. He's like, what you doing over here? I was like, nothing, just, hey, man, you be telling jokes, huh? And bruh, he went like this. You want to be a comedian, don't you? I was like, nah, man, I don't want to. He's like, I see you with the frat and you doing little things with him. He's like, you want to be a comedian.
Yeah, he got your ass.
I was like this. Well, I mean, kind of. And that was the first person. And he'd be like, hey, man, come to the club with me. Come to the club with me, because they had a club in San Jose called Rooster Teeth Feathers. He's like, come, it's tomorrow night, I got to do this show. Come there, I just show you some stuff. And that was the initial, because I technically did. Every time I hosted something, I was trying to be funny, but to watch Lala, I was like, this is attainable. And when I graduated, I did a set. I really did like a real set after that.
Okay. All right.
That's crazy. We almost have the same story.
Okay.
What about you, Ray?
Because for me, it happened in college as well. And I was always dancing. Been dancing on stage since I was 10, winning me and my brother and my uncle, we was winning all the dance contests, right? All the B-boys, Poppin and Lock and stuff. And so as I got a little older, I got into college, and my dance partners at the time had stopped dancing. They got saved, and they was like, yeah, we're not dancing no more. That's the devil's music. And I was like,
oh no.
and I was like, damn, what am I going to do now? And again, I'm in college. I'm about to graduate, and I don't really know what I'm going to do with my life. I'm thinking I was going to pursue dance with them, and we was going to like dance for Michael Jackson and all that shit. But I never identified with being a comedian because Eddie Murphy and all them comedians like Joey said, they was rock stars. I never thought I could be that. And then Def Comedy Jam was the big comedy show on TV at the time, so that was more relatable to me.
Right.
Because I met a lot of the rappers that would come through like on the Def Jam label. I would see them in the crowd laughing and in the VIP section. And so I kind of had a connectivity to them because we would open up the concerts for them in Fayetteville. So, and at the end of Def Comedy Jam, I saw dancers at the end of every episode. So it had a lot of elements that was already me, except I never did comedy before. So when Cool Bubba Ice went on and did his set, when he did all impressions, I was already doing characters around college and making my friends laugh and my mom laugh with voices. So I was like, yo, I'm a dancer. I know the stage well. I didn't know that all impressions was considered comedy. I didn't know that. So when I saw him go on and do a set that was all impressions, I was like, how about I just interweave my impressions into a 7-minute, 9-minute story and just try it. I went to Charlotte. That's when they had the creative tour, which every Tuesday, every comedian from Def Comedy Jam was on that stage. Everyone from Chris Thomas from Rap City, Pierre, T-Rex, Monique, Earthquake, JB Smooth, Ian Edwards, everybody was coming through that Tuesday night. And I went to Charlotte. One of my homeboys was a barber. He kind of dabbled in stand-up, and he knew the host. Host gave me 5 minutes, and the 5 minutes worked. Everybody was really rocking with it, and that's what made me say, oh, I could really do this.
Wow. Well, I had somebody tell me recently that they started doing comedy because they saw me on stage in Chattanooga.
Wow.
And I was kind of insulted because he said, well, shit, I could do that. No, I'm kidding. He didn't blast on me like, shit, that nigga up there, yeah. Okay. No, but actually, he did tell me that he said that kind of inspired him to say, yeah. So we all got a basically similar story. I started doing comedy. I grew up watching old sitcoms, and everybody in my family loved to watch sitcoms. And, you know, I'm gonna date myself, man. We was watching Red Skelton and Milton Berle and them kind of people.
That was before my time. That was
before that's before everybody's time. That was before my time, but I had to go to school the next morning. But
that's when Milton Berle was young.
And Milton Berle was he wasn't young, man. Come on. Okay, I walked into that one. Okay. When I saw you, Affion, and I said this to you, I don't know if you remember because you were getting so many accolades and autographs at the time. Matter of fact, Affion having shows people have to get in line to take a picture. Go, boy. But no, I would see you, and I was amazed that you could dance and do jokes simultaneously. That was something in all my years of comedy I had never seen. And I'm glad you just talked about how you started dancing. You've been doing it since you was like, what, 10, you said?
10 years old.
Yeah. But you do it on stage, and your act got, man, it's so much variety. I saw you in Chicago.
Yeah. You pulled up on me.
Yeah, man, and you laid it out, son. You laid it out.
Thank you, man. Joey, did I tell you how I misread? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was about to ask you a question, but go ahead.
Go ahead. I want you to forget.
Okay, so because I will. I'm at that point now. If I don't say it right now, Joey, what was you about to say? Oh man.
And don't forget you mentioned brass, so you come back to that.
Here we go. So was there ever anybody in your life that you saw that besides a star that you could go, man, auntie, uncle, mom, or somebody else that might have also inspired you a little bit?
No, man, I was the first. I was the first to go to
Okay.
college, first to dabble in entertainment. Now, my mom, when she was a teenager, was a singer in Trinidad, and
Oh, wow.
used to
Oh,
be
wow.
on TV there. So she was like a local celebrity in Trinidad, but I didn't know all of that until I got a little older. So it wasn't something that I tangibly saw and drew inspiration from. Everything I did was because I literally grew up at the same time hip hop was brand new. So we would just try everything. Like, oh man, we saw dudes spinning on their backs. We wanted to try it. Spinning on their heads, all that stuff. It was just, the culture was so new in the 80s. That's what made me become a performer and going to talent shows. Because I was a shy kid, so I had no reason to be on stage other than being a dancer.
Gotcha. Because I remember, like I said, my family, you know, in my mind, I didn't think we were hood till I got older. I was like, oh, okay, we on some nigga stuff. Like, in my mind,
Cereal out of Cool Whip Bowl.
all that. In my mind, though, we wasn't. So sometimes my like I've told you guys in the past, I was raised by my great aunt. And I remember her saying, hey, go to the pool hall and get horse. And that was her son. And I would walk in there.
Okay.
I would walk in it and do it. And he was holding court. And he would be in there, mind you, he was a bus driver. And bro, he would be at the bar and everybody would be looking at him and he would be telling these stories. And everybody would go, oh, horse, you crazy, man. He go, and then, so I told her, I said, hey, if you don't put that money in there, you're going to get your fat ass off my... And that was like the first person I would go like, wow, he is amazing. And that was it. He would take his drink and he would go, all right, y'all, I got to go down there and get my mama, I see y'all later. Everybody go, all right, horse, all right. And whenever I would see him in there, bro, it was always, he was holding court. And
I was about to ask you. I was going to ask both of y'all, who was the funniest person in your family?
And as Joey is telling that story, I now know it's my Uncle Jason.
Okay.
My Uncle Jason is the funniest person. Whenever he walks into a room, family gathering, from the time he was a teenager, he can tell a story. And he has a voice that's very like animated and cartoony. And he has a laugh that's just infectious. Like as he's telling the story, he's laughing at the punchline and it makes it even funnier. So I did, even though I never connected it to, he's never been on stage or a comedian, but I always was like, man, I wish I had his charisma. I did. It was him.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Brad, what about you?
My folks was always cracking jokes. And they was, my aunts and them would be just, they had their little running family joke. And we'd be at the dinner table and Aunt Willella would say, I've dined sufficient. My grandmother would say, so you went fishing? No, I said I had plenty. And you caught 20. And Aunt Willella would say, oh, you po soul. And you broke your pole. Yeah. Look, you start telling me to go back, we're going to be pulling up on dinosaurs in a minute. We're going to be, you know, Dino going to be up in this joint. All right, look, I go back. I'm going to give it up. My first time on stage was opening for my cousin, Walter Gales Codell in Chicago, Illinois, July 6th on my birthday in 1969. Holla if you hear me.
I was in diapers.
They're stunned. They are stunned, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. That was...
Wow. Yeah. People I came up with here. Look, the people I would go see comics all the time. Whenever a comedian came in town, I was there. And Dick Gregory lived in Chicago. And I pushed up on Dick Gregory. I said, well, you know, how you do this? He gave me some inside game. He was doing a show at Robert's 500 Room, which was a nice black joint. He was kind of new then. And he was surrounded by the people after the show. I mean, white people would come from the north side to come on the south side to see him, you know. And I was trying to get his attention. And he turned to me and said, wait just a minute, man. You cool. And then he went on and did his thing, took pictures with people and, you know, smiled and grinned. And then he took me back to his hotel room, went in the bathroom, sat on the edge of the tub. He said, let me tell you something. Right there, what I was doing right there, that's the bullshit session. People come out, they spend money, they want to spend some time with it, they want to take home a memory. Don't interrupt that. Always acknowledge the audience after you come off stage. Now, as far as doing comedy, study all comedians. Study Red Skelton, Milton Berle, Sid Caesar. Study all the comedians. Red Fox, Pigmeat Markham. You know, and I would go say, he Dakota Swain, just about ready to do that thing. Don't want no shucking, don't want no jive. Most of all, don't want no alibi. Now the judge is here. And that ain't all. He'll give you time if you're big or small. So everybody, all rise, goes, here come the judge. Here come the judge. I actually saw him. I go see Moms Mabley. I go see Jackie Leonard, who accused Don Rickles of stealing his whole act. Man, please. I love this comedy thing. I fell in love with it at a very young age. And matter of fact, I talked recently to a woman, she's 95. She said, Brad, I used to tell you when you was a little boy, you're going to be a comedian. You're going to be a comedian because you would have people on the bus laughing.
Mm.
Yeah, riding the bus wasn't really that funny. But yeah, so I guess all of us have laughter in our environment and we're drawn to it. And that's one of the things, that's one of the most important things that get us through life is being able to laugh. Because I had a friend named Lionel and my father caught polio when I was a kid. And I used to sit in class and cry all the time. But sometimes I would go to Lionel's house and he started talking, man, and talking about the dog and the dog peed in the bed and don't put him in here with me. I would just go there just to laugh. Right. You ever cry so hard you end up giggling? Get silly? That's where I was at. And when somebody could make me laugh, I appreciated it and loved it. And I enjoyed making people laugh. Because that's the thing. It's not that we get laughs, but that we have the privilege and joy of giving laughter.
Yeah.
And when stuff goes on, the stuff that's going on in the world now ain't no different really than the stuff that's been going on in the world. Even people in the concentration camps had jokes.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they went to the gas chamber, they had jokes. That's so many Jewish comedians.
Yeah, slaves communicated through humor and song and dance. You know what I mean? They hid their language from the master. And for me, it was my mom. My mom was depressed before I knew what depression was. I just knew that there was an energy. And at night, she would always be sitting down watching Benny Hill and Monty Python, SNL. Fridays, before Michael Richards was on Seinfeld, he was on Fridays, a sketch show that came on before SNL. And I would notice how that would brighten her. And when she started laughing, the energy in the room just changed. And then when that stuff went off, she went back to that dark place. And again, I didn't know what that was, but I was always fascinated by that stuff. And, you know, what the things that made her happy and made her laugh, it's something that made me dial into that because I was a mama's boy. So that was my one of my journeys.
Yeah.
Finding this thing.
I think for those of us who come up through humble beginnings, in that place that you say it looks so dark, there's so much laughter because you can't cry all day long.
Right.
You know, you have to, and sometimes, like you say, like comedians will find a situation. And I mean, of course, I feel like the times are a little different. People are a little more uptight about stuff. But a comedian can find a situation that, like, oh my God, that's horrific, and make a joke about it, and make people go, man, you stupid. That did happen, but okay.
Yeah.
And put a smile on your face because, like, hey man, this is horrific. You know, when the Twin Towers fell, that was horrific. But the people that can make a joke about it and then make you go, all right, now let's fix it. Let's get together and fix this thing. But this laughter will bring us together. I think like comedians are able to do that.
Well, how do you deal as comedians what's going on now in the world, in the United States of America, as it being one part of the world?
For me, it's like we can't change nothing. Prayer changes everything. So I can't get stressed out and worried. I can take precautions. You know, I can control what I can't control. Make sure my house is secure. Make sure I'm healthy. Make sure I'm secure. protected, all the things, but we can't change this thing. All we can do is our job.
Mm-hmm.
That's really how I cope with it. I know everybody's scared to make certain jokes about him and whatever the thing is and all the policies. I do what I do.
Yeah.
I just do what I do. And you either like it or you don't like it. That's just what it is.
You know, but the funny part about that now, Ace, is I think in this country, we've always had the man, it's the freedom of speech and we do what we do. I think for the first time, people got somebody who was in charge who was like sitting there going, I was motherfucker say something about me, he going down.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
It's
who's
cold
in charge of this country now. We got somebody who is he ain't looking at no policies or sitting there reading nothing. This nigga's online going, and what they say.
Right.
Ooh,
Right.
hey, call CBS. Yeah, they gotta go. Yeah, they
Shut
gotta
them
go.
down.
Oh boy made a joke about me. Oh, wait, South Park. How long has
South
this
Park.
been on the air?
South
This
Park
been
don't
on
give
there,
a
what? They gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the first time I think that in this world you got somebody who was like caring.
He's the first petty president.
He is
Oh
a
my God,
petty
he's
son of a
PP for
bitch.
sure. Oh, he's
He's the first
PP.
one. Yeah.
He's the first one because everybody else go. I don't have time to listen to Joey Wells say something about me because I'm trying to run this country and to help the world. This nigga is there like this.
He ain't running
Bruh.
shit. He got
Bro,
time.
I ain't got time for that. But I'm gonna go through this social media and see who said something about me.
Yeah.
Like, to ask a president, so what do you think about pardoning Puff, Sean Diddy? Well, you know, we were good at one point, but then he said something about me, so I probably won't pardon him. You are the president, and you can remember that this dude, you and him was cool, and he said something negative about you. How do you even? Oh, okay, because he like I got time.
He ain't doing nothing. He don't work.
He don't know how to do the shit. He don't know what he's doing. All he got time for, he's a reality show nigga. So all he got time to do is reality show shit.
Yeah,
And internet shit.
Yeah.
yeah.
Y'all got it.
So how am I?
So
look, this is the other thing. How am I going to sit around and be stressed out about that level of a person? I'm not going to do it to myself. I'm intelligent. Why would I allow my life to be dimmed by these bullshit policies?
Yeah.
I always say my job, and still remain the same, is that you got all your problems and issues. And when you step inside that door, our job is for this hour and a half or 2 hours is to make you forget your problems.
That's
And
it.
be able to take a breath. And that's it. Now, as I always say, now your problem is at the door. Them niggas waiting for you. Though your problem's at the door going, call on this show over because we gotta get on your back and put our foot on your neck.
Yeah.
Oh man, they don't went 3
The whole
hours.
ride home.
Bruh. Your neck down, you're like, But for that 2 hours, we allow you to breathe and then also too to sometimes refocus to go, okay, now I can think about this a little different because I got another perspective of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's like what our job is. And we got to push forward through this because like I said, never before has I think anybody in this country ever thought about freedom of speech being an issue. And it is now because like you said, we got a PP and man.
It don't exist now.
They're chopping public radio stations, public TV stations. They're chopping Radio Free Europe. People don't believe what they seeing. They didn't believe when he told them they was going to do this. We wrote it down. 2025. Here's the playbook right here, y'all. This was getting ready to happen to you. And they don't believe it, man. I put a thing online called "You Asked for It."
Yeah, it was laid out in the plan.
Yeah.
It's
just
not.
If
you don't believe it, that's on you. That's on you if you didn't believe it. So
right.
So when people say I can't believe, you should have. You should have. You should have. You should have.
So how did you start writing for Kevin Hart and them? You and Harry Goodspeed.
Right, that was all an accident.
Most good things are.
Somewhat of an accident in our life. As I tell the story, Kevin did me a huge favor when my son was living with me. As y'all remember, because I used to bring him to this show sometimes.
It's your world.
And he was doing a paper, and he came home one day and he was like, "Dad, I got to do a report on an entertainer." So I was like, "Okay, man." I pushed everything to the side and sat down, got ready. He was like, "You think Kevin will do it?" I was like, "Kevin? Why would Kevin?" And he's like, "Yeah, you think he would do it?" Because he had
Y'all on
like,
the first
Soul
name
Plane.
basis already?
Yeah, Soul Plane was, I'm like this. If he, I mean, he could do it. We can ask him, but we got to call him. But because you got access to entertainers, and he said, "You right." I said, "All right." He said, "So if he can't do it, then I'll just do my second choice." I was like, "All right, cool." Kim, you think Kim will do it? Kim, hey, nigga. Okay, so yeah, I'm sitting there looking, and he's serious. He's like, "Can you call her?" I go, "Man, I could. She's probably busy." So we got to use the people who are like right here that we can talk to. And now, mind you, Rodney ain't left yet. This nigga go, "All right, we'll just call Uncle Rodney." I go, "Hey man, nigga, at some point, this disrespect." And he was like, "What?" I was like, "Whatever, son, whatever." So we called Kev, do the interview, and then I think he got a decent grade on it. And then I was like, "Kev, it really be dope, man." I said, I know you're busy, bro. If you would stop in his class and talk to the class, that'd be really dope." And Kev was like, "All right, I got you. I'll do it." So he called me, and he's like, this is when Joy was at Inglewood High. And Kev was like, "Yeah, we can go today." I was like, "All right." And he said, "Hey, is this school bad?" And I was like, "Everything you see on TV, that's exactly what we about to walk into." So we went to the school, man. He did an interview. I talked to Joey's class, man. It helped. And I saw him one night, like 2 weeks later at the Improv on Monday night. And I had a set. And I said, "Man, if you ever need any help, bruh, I got you." I said, "By help, if you ever need anybody like to punch up or do whatever, man," because I said, "Bro, I can't repay you for what you did. I appreciate you, man." And that was it. And then about a week later, Harry was like, "Yo, Kevin said he wanted us to help him write." I was like, "Let's do it." And he was like, "What would you charge?" I was like, "Man, I ain't never charged nobody. I ain't never wrote for nobody. I don't know. Tell him we need to eat. Like we eat. We eat, we good." And that's how that began. That's how and I always say the assisting him writing began.
That's what God tell us to do, man. Help each other.
Yeah.
And I didn't have an ego. I didn't have an ego either to go, "Man, I'm too funny to be writing for somebody else." Cause like when that started, man, bro, the rumors were flinging all over the place. Like, man, I wish a nigga would ask me to write for him. Nigga, oh, bro. Oh, the mudslinging started.
Tell us about that.
It's still
Let's
slinging.
briefly.
It's still slinging to this day.
Let me dwell on this. You came from a place of wanting to help somebody, to show of respect and appreciation for them doing you a favor for your son. And you stepped to him, "Look, if there's anything I can do for you." Wasn't no tripping, wasn't no shade about right for me, and it wasn't none of that. So that's the important part of life. I've come to realize what you do for somebody else, man. Go ahead on with your story, man. I'm enjoying.
No, that was it, and that's how it began, and from there
well, what was all this mudslinging about? What you?
Because Brad, I mean, here's the thing. I'm assuming that it was already going on back in the day, which in your time, is that comedians can't be happy for other comedians. We are some miserable individuals.
Well, I didn't grow up that way. I'm a black person, so we're always happy go lucky. We root for everybody. I don't know what you're talking about, Giuseppe, but I just want you to know it's not that the whole world isn't that way.
Right,
only the parts you saw.
You know what's crazy?
That was my first time really seeing a lot of like wow, because man, I root for everybody. Because my mentality has always been, if Affion make it, that means he opened the door up. He's now gone. I can step into that place. So whenever somebody got something, if you look at it that way, we all go, okay, technically, I need all y'all to get out my way.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you find that people hate on you, man, because of your success?
Yeah, it started early with me too. Like, I hear everything. And so when I started doing YouTube videos and going viral and doing parody videos, I would hear people say, you know how comedians they stand outside the club,
Yeah,
and do their little scuttlebutt and do their, you know, it was like, yeah, Ape ain't really a real comedian. He doing that internet shit. So even before these younger social media comedians was catching all that fire, I was the one catching all the fire. It was like, yeah, he's not a real comedian. So I always heard that, but I never gave a shit about it. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna show y'all.
yeah.
Y'all just keep watching. Keep watching what I'm doing.
Well, I remember people used to throw shade on this comic, Dane Cook.
Dane Cook, yeah. I never understood it.
And they like, he was a MySpace guy. And what I couldn't understand why people throwing shade, talking about Dane Cook, yeah, he ain't funny, he ain't this and he ain't that. I said, Dane Cook is filling stadiums. Dane Cook is cracking big jokes.
Right.
This is a business where your ability to put asses in the seat is going to be the determining factor on the kind of money you make. I mean,
but you know, Brad, it's hard. How do you accept that? Because a lot of times people can't accept it. People can't accept this. Affion moved past them. Like, he did it. Some of them he just moved past. And in their mind, no, I'm a senior, he a freshman, and that's how it works. And it's like, that's not how this business works.
The
dude track.
I was just telling Brad how I used to hear all the shit come back to me about what people were saying. You know how niggas be standing outside the comedy store and the Laugh Factory and just talking their shit. And people would be like, yeah, Ape ain't a real comedian. He doing that YouTube. He just do parody shit. He just do this and this. Wow. And it for some reason it never bothered me because I'm a loner by nature. I just I keep my head down and I just do the work. But when I would hear that, it would just kind of make me giggle, and I'd be like, "Oh, okay." So I just gotta show you niggas. I just gotta do what I do and just keep doing what I'm doing. Because if y'all mad about it, that means I'm succeeding. And then when I got the Fox show, even though the show ended up being,
they were mad at you.
My God,
what's up?
Oh my God,
haters!
It was bad. And when I tell you, like, I went through all that hell with Fox and when I tell you my phone was quiet after that. Like, no one reached out and was like, hey, man, just checking on you. So, again, I'm very self-sufficient. So even in my pain, I know how to manage it without needing people. But, you know, there was key people that would show up and you know, just say, well, hey, man, congratulations, whatever. Me and Joey, you know, there was a time when me and Joey would talk almost every day when we was doing the what's poppin' stuff. And then seasonally, you know, he just went his way, I went my way. But every time I saw Joey, it was always, we never lost our brotherhood.
It's always love. Every time I see Joey, it's like that. Yeah. Joey say, Fred, whenever you need, I got you.
But there's others.
What I can't understand is these old heads that's been in the game a long time and supposed to know how the game go. Be shading on these young people.
I was at the Comedy Union one night, and now this is when I want to say these social media comedians and not some like the IG comedians that started to happen.
Yep.
And there was a female, and I don't know if it was B. Simone or just hilarious. I can't remember, it was one of them. But they had a show, and they had an old head. I'm gonna say old head. They had a seasoned comedian open up in there. He was killing. And y'all know ends. He was giving him the light. Gave him the light. Gave him the light because it was like time, and they were outside, man, and they were upset. And it's like, man, they giving me the light, and man, I done did, and they ran off all of it. To me, they gave me all of their credits, and I'm standing there, I'm like, yup. I go, but But she got asses in these seats, man. They's like, nigga, da 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 da. I go, yeah, but check it out. She sold out 3 shows here. I said, we can't even sell out 1. I said, so however we look at it, the people have spoken.
The people have spoken.
And we just got to move with it. And they were a little upset, man. And it's like, you can't be angry at the people who have decided this is who I like.
Right.
You can't be mad at them because that's who they like.
Well, it's something that if y'all, both of y'all basically just said, why you hating on people because they get something? It just means there's something there to give. There's a business, there's an industry, there's opportunity. Don't be mad at this person. That's like an Aesop fable. You ever hear an Aesop fable where a little dog is going across the bridge and he got a big juicy bone in his mouth? And he, big juicy bone. Butcher then gave it to him. He's going over the bridge and the water under the bridge. And he looks over the bridge and he sees another dog in the water with a bone bigger than his. And he becomes angry and starts yapping at the damn dog in the water. And his bone fall right out of his mouth. He's looking at his own reflection in the water.
Wow.
As soon as he opened his mouth, he lost his bone. How you going?
I think, Brad, that's the philosophy is I go, like, we all get a bat, and it depends. We're not in the business there where everybody's gonna make it. That don't even happen in the business world. But you can decide, like, okay, what's my blessings? But I go, if your blessing walk up to you, but you're so concentrated on somebody else, then you'll miss your blessing because your blessing is standing in front of you going, all right, well, I've been standing here for 10 minutes, but you're so busy looking at Affion being mad, I'm out.
Yeah.
Because we're so concentrated and fixated on someone else's success. Yeah. And rather than that be, man, I'm happy for him or her or whatever. And that's it. And you can't go, because I've even heard some people be mad at somebody. And I go, that's not even your genre. Like, you mad at that dude. That dude's 6'5", and he looked good. That ain't even who you gonna audition against. You are chubby. You are chubby and short. So the two of you are never going to go into a room to audition together. So your hate for him is the wrong one. At least go, let me find somebody in my circle to hate.
You know what's crazy?
Go ahead.
I had to be transparent with Kev. We did Comedy Gold Mines, right? And he was just asking me about my journey and, when things kind of got rough. And I just said, bro, I'm going to be honest. I was jealous of you in my human moment because he was the one that was always in the audition with me. We would always test together, but he would be the one that would always get those pilots. But it's always down to me and him at one point in our career. And then I got the Fox show, and then that's when he started like bubbling with the stand-up, laughing my pain, all that kind of stuff. And there was a moment where I was jealous of that because I was like, damn, I wanted my moment. I wanted my moment to happen like that. But I was able to look within and say, hey, that has nothing to do with you. Your path is not his path. So sometimes we got to self-correct and understand when we on some bullshit. And it can't always be pointing the finger like, my thing ain't happening because of this guy and this woman and this. Like, yo, some of us got to admit when we do harbor feelings of jealousy or envy and understand where it's coming from. It's coming from your own self-deficiency. And what Joey is saying, you so focused on someone else's success that you have all the tools in front of you, but you're not building nothing with those tools. You're looking at this guy building and you have the same tools to do what he's doing.
Yeah.
You're literally neglecting your tools when you focus and shift that way. So I got over it. I start collaborating with younger comedians online. Like I don't understand how old heads don't realize, or seasoned comedians, there was garbage comedians on the traditional side too. Everybody in the 80s and 90s wasn't dope because they came up doing traditional stage.
Listen, when you come in life, things go around. What I've been fortunate enough to do is have young people teach me stuff like y'all doing right now. We don't come all the way back around. Yeah, back in the day, we used to, but then it was happening right now. I had to come around here and learn Learn from these young people. That's what keeps you in the game. You got to. Because shit gonna change, bro. And ain't nothing you can do about it. But look, the game don't change. Just the players change. And the players ain't got to change if they can be flexible.
But now the game is changing.
Well, the game, but see, that's the thing. Well, that's yeah, of course the game is changing. Totally. What I didn't know nothing about no internet and podcasts and all that. When I was out there struggling, going to a club and hoping the nigga don't try to stiff me from the gig. But look, I want to go back to what you said about Fox. When something happened on the Fox show. What was that about?
I'm not even gonna go into that. It's just basically it's basically when we have a culturally relevant show. And you got a lot of executives that just don't understand.
That shit. That hasn't changed. That shit. Okay, I got it. You ain't got to go no further, bro.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Yeah, it's something like Dave Chappelle, Richard Pryor, whatever. Same thing. Richard went through the same thing. He had a bit where they were in Egypt on an exposition. He was part of the exposition. He was the only black person there. He goes into the pyramid and he discovers the book of life inside of this pyramid. And he's just geeked, man. Look at all the things black people did. Look at all this. Oh my God. And the other people in the exposition, while he's going off and enamored of all this beautiful knowledge that's jumping off, they're walking out backwards. Like this. And he get all the way outside the pyramid and said, close the door, locked them up in there, and said, get the bulldozers. There's nothing here. And
that's up.
But that consciousness bit got him in trouble.
Is that crazy?
Yeah.
Like they like, oh, don't worry about it. We won't see one of these bits again.
Right.
Being stiff, it's the crazy part, man. Young Wells, who's out there DJing in Vegas, he had got stiffed, and man, he was hot. He called me, we was talking, I was just like this, yeah, give it to you, huh? Okay. Wow, man, that's crazy. Because I was like, son, no matter whatever story you tell, I have been stiff. No matter how from waiting for the dude to get off the dance floor and he disappeared, to trying to follow the nigga to his car, he disappeared. From, man, I'm gonna put that in your bank account that he don't do that. To the nigga writing me a check that bounce. Man, like, however you name it. To where I did a gig at the Long Beach State. I hosted some event for my sorority sisters. And the event over with, and then a group of them came to me. And I'm sitting there looking like, and and Brad, you know how I get when, all right, the night over, all right, I was sitting there for a while.
Yeah, what's up?
Ain't nobody brought me no envelope. Man, I'm sitting there, and then about 4 or 5 of them walk up on me. And he's like, hey, Frat, can we talk? I said, first of all, go ahead. And this is what they said. All right, so we didn't get everything we needed. So we had to pay the caterer. We paid the DJ. They told me everybody they paid.
Everybody but you.
Bruh, I said, you know what y'all gonna do? Y'all, all 4 of y'all gonna get together and walk back out the door, and y'all come up with a better story, and then come in and tell me this. I said, because what y'all just told me is that everybody involved in this comedy show was more important than the dude that we booked to do comedy.
Yeah.
I said, that's what you guys just told me. And they were just looking at me, and they was like, that's not what we meant. I said, don't matter, that's what you meant. I said, Fox paid everybody. And they just like, oh, okay. So I'm like, I told him, I said,
what you did,
whatever
though,
story you give, bro, oh man, like you ever been at the airport waiting for your ticket, Abe?
Nah.
Oh man.
Like, oh man, I done did that one, right? They go like, I got a show in Seattle, and they like, oh, your ticket at the airport. Oh, okay. Bro, what? So there was this dude named Pierre. Pierre, if you ask anybody about this dude named Pierre, not the comedian Pierre, but the dude who used to book shows in Seattle, bro, I don't care what tier you on, he done got you. He done got everybody. And so mine's was like So I'm leaving. If you remember my apartment in the back in Inglewood,
Yeah.
bruh. So I walk out there one morning. I see the landlord because he could look in. I go, yo, Vic, going to Seattle. I got you. I'm gonna have both months because I'm behind a month, and the first is like tomorrow. So he's like, all right, Mr. Well, I said, don't worry about it, man. I appreciate you for being patient, but I got you. I'm going to do the gig. Get to the airport. My name not on nobody's list. So I'm like, no, it's got to be. Nope, no sir. So wait, check again. So I go to the payphone because I don't have a cell phone yet. So I boom my call. Yeah. Just go check. I go, it ain't there.
Wow.
So then I call somebody else. I forgot who I called. A friend of mine. I was like, yo, I say Pierre Trippin. I got a show tonight, and they go, oh, you ain't on that flyer. I'm like, but they booked me. He told me. I just got off the phone and he's like, nigga, somebody else on that flyer tonight. I go back to
that's
call.
elaborate stiffing.
Bro, I go back. I call. He don't pick up. I call about 3, 4 more times. He don't pick up. I go back to the counter. My name not on the list. Now I got to go back to the apartment that I said tomorrow I'll have your rent. Hey, you know how I was. Nigga, I did a James Bond creep. And as I'm opening the door, I hear my landlord go, Mr. Wells. Nigga, I got in there and just shut the door. And I heard him knock on the door, and I was like, nah, I ain't even gonna have this conversation. Cause I'm like, nigga, I came back 3 hours later.
Damn.
I was like, and so he did me twice like that.
Wow.
Just man. But then I find out he would get people to the gig. They would do the gig. One person, he dropped them off at the airport and was like, I'll be right back.
Damn, who is this guy?
That's notorious.
Who is this guy, man?
Ask comedians.
I can't imagine that happening in Chicago when I was just starting out.
Yo.
Bro, he got a few Chicago dudes out here, though.
Oh, yeah. Look, man.
Ask people about Pierre. He was so
I don't need to ask nobody. You done told me.
Bruh. Oh
if I get a name Pierre, I'm going to see some ID. Make sure it ain't the one you talking about.
Hey, man.
Like, my story ain't that bad. Like, imagine being at the airport. Imagine being at the airport, though. Wait, imagine being at the airport in Seattle after you done did the gig. You waiting for your money and your plane ticket home. And he say, I'm about to park. I'll be right back. And don't come back.
Whoa.
Wow.
Bro, my old manager, Rick, I'm not going to say the comedian name, but my old manager, Rick, said he got a call from somebody. And so he sent this dude some money to get a plane ticket to come back home.
Yo, I'm going to tell you, the crazy story was I have not been stiffed, right?
Okay,
but the only reason why is this. Big Daddy Fitz, rest in peace.
Okay.
He trained me, the comedian out of Detroit, and he was in Charlotte at the time. He said, hey, by any means necessary, get your money. I don't care if you got to show up to the club, start unplugging the DJ equipment. You take their shit so you can get your shit. So right after he told me that, a few months after, this is when I first started comedy, and Nate Smith was the one that was promoting that creative tour I was talking about. Nate hired me for a gig and didn't pay me right after. And I went back to school. I'm in Fayetteville, 3 hours away. So I'm calling Nate every week. And he was like, no, I got you. And I said, the last call, I said, hey, Nate, I'm coming up there on Tuesday. Nate, Western Union me the money like that day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he tried it, but, and Nate's my man. Like, much love to Nate. So that's why when I saw him with Kev back when he was running with y'all for a while, it came full circle. I was like, wow, like from where we started to where we are now, it's a different story. But one time, and this was when I was dancing. Joe, you remember when I stopped doing comedy and I started dancing and doing backup dancing? Yeah. They tried to flip us. We had did rehearsals for like 2 weeks for this show. And we had did one show down in the South, and then we was doing another one in Sacramento. And one of the dancers called me, one of the old dancers. They was like, did you get your money from dude? And I was like, nah, not yet. And I was like, yeah, he's notorious for not paying the dancers. So I told my dance partner, I said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get on this flight, because he had 2 shows on the tail end of the tour in Sacramento. I said, we're gonna get on this flight, we're gonna go to Sacramento, but we're not gonna leave the airport. We're gonna stay there until they give us all the money they owe us from the last 2 weeks of work and that last show we did down south. And when I tell you I held them hostage in the airport, the record label was on the phone and they was like, "You're being unreasonable. This is how you trying to do this to us right now, using this as leverage to try to get paid." I said, "Me, the devil, the popcorn is goddamn kettle black. Y'all using us as leverage. We done work for y'all for 2 weeks." And so I say on that to say, Fitz taught me by all and any means necessary, figure out how to get your money from people. So the good thing is when I took that time off from comedy, I built my name up enough to where now all my comedy shows go through my agency and it's reputable clubs, as opposed to I missed doing too many shows with like independent promoters. So that's where you get fucked, is when you're dealing with independent promoters. Those are the guys that's gonna run all the game on you,
bro. That Chitlin circuit is crazy.
The what?
Because that Chitlin circuit is crazy because sometimes those promoters are waiting on the ticket sales. So like it shouldn't be that. It should be like, yo, my money should be already set to the side.
There should be a guarantee.
No, they waiting to see what the tickets are sold. Bro, we did this. Just check this show out. It was me, Corey Holcomb, Leslie, Speedy, and it was one more comedian. It's 4 of us, and we were doing a theater in Dallas. It's about 1,200 seaters, 2 shows. I'm like, I get this, I think I was getting I forgot what I was getting, bro. But I was supposed to come on with like $2,000. Got it. That first show, mind you, I told you it held 1,200 people, bruh. It was maybe 1,200 seats. It was maybe 300 people.
Okay, it's gonna be some drama.
300 and 1,200. And let me tell you something. These Negroes had the nerve to sit in their assigned seats.
It was gapped up. It was a snaggletooth show.
Oh man.
So we were like, oh snap.
Oh.
The second show, it might have been 100. So you know how you get that feeling like, okay, it's combined 400 people for a show that was supposed to sell 2,400 tickets.
How many comedians? Was it 4?
I can't remember. It was like 5. It was like 5 of us, I think.
Right.
All I remember was they gave me a check too. I learned from this though. They gave me a check and they put J-Dub on the check. And I didn't open the check till I got home. And I was like,
oh, they got slick.
Go cash the check with J-Dub on it.
That's cool.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you, I never got stiffed.
Man,
it was attempted. But I think I probably learned about not getting stiffed by going out with my cousin when he was selling Jets magazine. You get on the L.
Wow.
Jet. And this dude named Huddy was the older dude that had all the little Jet boys selling the magazines. And I was just with my cousin. I wasn't working. I was just hanging with him. I just wanted to be out there. And then when it's time to get paid, they short the money. And I guess it put a subconscious thing in my mind that I got to have my money. One time I was working at a club, High Chaparral in Chicago, man. And back in them clubs, like, had this happen twice. They count the money and they got a piece on the desk. Now this guy got a big ass cannon on the top of the desk. This dude is 6'8". His damn fingers is too big to go in there to be able to pull the trigger. And I was working with a partner, and we did the gig. And I went back there to get the money. He says, "So what if I don't pay you cats?" I said, "Well, who gonna clean up the blood?" He said, "Oh, you a funny little nigga. Get this money." I mean, it was a joke. I mean, this cat his hands was big as a canned ham. He could have thumped me unconscious. The fact that I had the audacity to say that to him, said, "You a funny little old nigga. Take this money and get the fuck out of my face."
Yeah, I'm gonna get you out of here. This
And in New Orleans,
right.
I could see it coming. This cat, now I peeped that it was really slinging dope because this dude was full of cocaine. And I was supposed to work 2 weeks at a club in Metairie, Louisiana. And I said, "Oh, hell no." And plus, it was stank from the beginning. I was on the show with this act called Malone and Newt Cheese, and they had us, the comedy condo was a storage room.
Yeah.
With Schlitz signs and
Yo, them comedy condos.
crates and shit.
What?
Hey, I'm in there. I caught the worst cold in my life with them two nasty, germy people over there. So I told her, I said, "Look, I ain't staying here." I called my wife. And see, this is what the dude in Chicago didn't understand. I was more afraid of my wife than I was him. Because I wasn't going to go home not bleeding and no money. If I come in there, I got my ass whooped, I'm bleeding. Okay, baby, well, you didn't win that one. I'm going to give you some, let me get the mercurochrome and put a bandage on you. But in Metairie, I called her up. I says, "Look, I just ain't feeling right." She said, "Come on home."
Oh, nice.
You might not remember this far back, but there was a series of commercials running. "I want my MTV."
Oh, yeah.
They used to book comics to go with the acts. But this dude, the producer, he was a straight up cokehead. And I knew I was going to get this money. And he gave me a post-dated check. And I go to the bank. This guy was notorious.
For those who don't know what a post-dated check is,
don't cash it yet. Until 2 weeks now.
Ain't no money there. That's what post-dated check is.
We hoping that it's gonna come and be
ain't no money there. So I go to the Bank of America in North Hollywood, California, and I get one of these old white ladies, bespectacled ladies. I mean, she had the chain on the. She see where the check is from, and she cashed that joint. She cashed it because she knew what was happening. MTV, oh yeah, this guy. Here, that's all right. We're gonna make some phone calls.
Wow.
But Vic Dunlap, he tried to stiff Vic. And Vic was one of the post-Vietnam guys, I mean, he's a big old dude, lovely guy, but he'll snap, man. He went up in there and did like Affion was talking about earlier. He went up in there and started taking cameras and monitors and shit. He said, "This is mine. And this is mine." And he was big crazy, dude. So they weren't gonna mess with it. They weren't gonna stop him. I mean, literally just start taking equipment out the studio.
Yeah, I think if you start messing with people money, it's different. Because we all know AJ Jamal. We all know how he's such a humble and he don't curse on stage and all that. Bro, they told this story that somebody didn't pay AJ. He was like, "Oh, okay." He went in, literally what you did, said Brad. AJ started taking shit. So I think he's like, "Don't worry about paying me then." He started just taking shit. They like, "Hey, what you doing?" He's like, "No, this is my payment." And he just took shit.
Right.
And it was like, I think they probably looked at him like, "Oh, little dude ain't gonna do nothing."
Right.
So that nigga walked out of there with a whole bunch of equipment and was like, "All right, y'all don't want to pay? It's cool. I'll just take all this equipment."
Yeah, he gonna do something.
That's what Fitz told me. Oh, I meant to tell the story earlier about how I met Brad. So I get called to go feature. I think it was Alabama, way back in the day. And they said the feature comedian is it was Greensboro Comedy Zone. They said the feature comedian that they hired was too raunchy and the audience just did not like him. And I replace him, and I meet him in the hotel lobby, and he didn't know what was going on until I got there. And he was like, "Oh, they gonna get him the job. This motherfucker. Oh, okay, all right, they don't like me. All right, whatever. I get to LA. When I finally moved to LA, like 3 years later, I run into him at the Comedy Store. And he was cool. He was like, "Oh, yeah, man, you the motherfucker that took my job. Yeah, okay, yeah, man. Yeah, you sounded though. You sounded. You should come down, man. We doing this thing on Wednesday nights where we do voiceovers and shit. Come on down." In my mind, I'm like, he trying to set me up. This to get back. I'm in there I'm in LA. He gonna try to get me down in Compton, some goddamn where. Yeah, he probably a Crip or a Blood or something. But when he told me, he said he gave me the address. It was Burbank. I was like,
Burbank, baby.
Burbank. I might be safe in Burbank. I might be okay.
Yeah.
Disney and Warner Brothers in Burbank, so I should be all right. So when
right down the street.
So it was Craig. I forget his
Craig
last
Frazier.
Craig Frazier.
Craig Frazier was raunchy.
Craig.
Really?
Craig was drunk and cussing. And but when I got to LA, he's the one that got me to Graue Studios. And I walked there and he was just open arms, like, yo, this Brad Sanders. And so I'm walking in the room, Joey. And mind you, this is my first time in LA. This is my first time around celebrities, right? I'm seeing Brad, that's Batty Boy. I'm seeing Roxanne, that's the drunk lady from Martin. I'm seeing Lisa.
Yeah.
Lisa she was on How to Be a Player, Def Jam movie. Brandon Bolden. I'm seeing Evan Lionel. I'm seeing all these people. I'm just like, oh shit. And they were just in there kicking it and like some superheroes. Like, yeah, we just here. We about to be these voices. And then the voices started. They started recording the voices, and you hear all the different. So that was my introduction to LA and that little 65 a week. that time when I had nothing, that's what got me over every week.
Wow.
And then I think, Joey, did I tell you about it?
So the story so mine was, that's how the circle is. Mine was, like I said, we had did Pierre's movie. And like I said, we were talking all the time. We were talking all the time. And one day he was like, hey man, I go to this radio gig on Wednesdays. They do a radio, it's like a soap opera. They do it and they read, man, they give you a little change. So it's out in Burbank on Wednesday nights. And I remember going, okay, shit, I get out there though. That's gas money. But I was like, and my mind was like, all right, that got to make sense for me to go to Burbank. Go, okay. And about 2 weeks later, or about maybe 3 weeks later, Rodney Perry said, nigga, they got this thing on Wednesday night. And I was like, well, it's in Burbank. It's like a radio show. I was like, oh yeah, Affion told me about that. He's like, you knew about this? I was like, yeah, they pay you. That's like, if you do some voices on the show, they pay you. He was like, yeah, how long you been knowing about it? I said, man, a few weeks ago. I said, Affion told me about it. I just haven't met. I said, when you find out? He was like, this week. I was like, yeah. I said, he told me. I said, but you know, right? I said, just like, I don't know. I haven't been. And then to get out there, the gas money. I was like, so he was like, hey, we got to go out there. I was like, all right, let's make it happen. Because I think Rodney had went, and that was it. So when I go, like I said, Affion, I was like, yeah, Affion told me. And just like you, when I walk in, I'm like, of course, you know, me and Rodney, and then we knew Brandon, and then you. But then the rest of the people, I was like,
yeah.
It's like everybody's like, I had seen all these people on something, and it
all
was
like, working at,
oh wow.
Yeah. Man, we had some of the most talented people in the business right there in that one room. And we couldn't pay no more than what we paid. But there's one thing I said, you will have your check at the end of the session. You shouldn't have to wait for this yang money you getting up in here. Go take this, and I can't tell you the number of people that told me, Brad, like Rodney Perry, man, that bought groceries that night. Bro, that bought this, that bought.
Brad, look, he would open that big ass checkbook like the Bible, and we would all be like, we would all be waiting around, boy.
Y'all stupid.
We will all be like, yes, yeah, thank you, Father.
Oh shoot, man.
Hey.
That was it.
Yeah, you should heard Witherspoon talking about my ass. Y'all, this motherfucker open that big ass book and ain't paying no money. Motherfucker, get big ass, giant ass check.
I remember there'd be times when it'd be real tight, and Brad would open that book, but he'd still be having conversations and laughing and joking. And I'd be like, hey, man, can you please write that check faster? Can you just put it? It's on your lap, Brad. You need a pen? You need another pen?
Oh, bro, hey.
I always like that, bro.
But there's people like you and Brandon, y'all was doing 2, 3, 4 voices, so it was great. But for some of us who was just like that one, and then on some of them nights, it's like, all right, and Brad, you know,
No, but we all got
everybody got a
We
script.
all got the same money.
We all got the same thing. It
No,
wasn't.
yes, but for some of us, we wasn't every week though. So
Oh,
when
yeah,
Brad handed
yeah.
out
Oh
the
yeah,
script,
right.
when you handed
But
the
yes.
scripts out, and then if you didn't get a script, it was like this. Oh, all right. Shoot, we gonna pray. Hey, all right, okay, all right. Hey, get this prayer in.
But look, Joey, when I first went, I didn't know how it worked, and they was like, "No, you got to get here at 7:30." That's when he cast the role. Because I was coming from Bellflower, nigga. I was coming from Bellflower, so I was like,
"Oh wow, okay."
I wouldn't get up. I wouldn't be able to get up there until like 8:30, 9 o'clock. And so my first 3-4 times, I didn't get nothing. I was just sitting around watching them work. And then one time, Brandon Bolin, he was about to give him. Brad said, "Brandon, try this new voice." And Brandon was like, "Why don't you give it to Young Buck? Why don't you give it to Abe?" And Brandon was the one that got me in the room, in the booth. And I did my first voice, got my first 65. And I was every week after that, 7:30, boy. I was trying to get a 65.
Yeah, the first couple weeks you got to go. Oh, don't worry about it. You just got to hang for a little while. Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. I'm
All
looking
right.
at
You
this.
start looking around like this. Okay, there we go. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. But you know the impact of it too, though. Is
Look, I see your name here right now, Dennis, dancing friend of Kevin's, Joey Wells.
Well, let me tell you something.
Affion had
Affion had so many.
he had a role. He had a whole
Scooter
But
Wells.
you know, I didn't know the impact of the show of how around the country that people were listening to this show.
Yeah.
So, and Brad, I think you had got me a permanent story, and I was a dude. I forgot his name, but I was a dude that had a flower shop.
Yeah.
And I'm somewhere, and the guy was like, "Hey man, you want your credits?" And I was like, "Man, I like Comic View." I said, "I did do this movie." He's like, "What's the name of that movie?" I said, "For the Love of Money." He's like, "This. What's that?" I was like, "Well, don't worry about it. Just," I was like, if I gotta tell you that, don't worry about it. Just view. I said, "Oh, you know what?
Look at it. We got
And I'm on this show called It's Your World." And that dude said, "Nigga, you on what?" I said, "It's Your World." I said, I have a flower shop. I say the name. He's like, "Nigga, you da 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 da." And I was like, "Yeah." Wow. He introduced me. And as I'm walking to the stage on my mama, this woman turned around and go, "That ain't him." I'm like, y'all don't see us, y'all just hear us. And she was like, "That's not him. That's not who it is. I know that ain't him."
Oh man.
And I'm like, holy snap. Finished the show. This woman walked up to me. She was, "Oh, so you're on It's Your World?" I said, "Yeah." I'm talking to her. She was like, "You date white women, don't you?" I was like,
Damn.
She was like, "Nah, because I the episode that you left so-and-so, and I don't understand why you left her." I said,
Wow.
"Left who?" And she's like, "Why would you leave her?" And I'm like, "Oh, you talking about the show on that radio." Bruh. I was looking at this chick like, I'm not even a significant player. And this bitch is mad at me because in the show, I dropped this other chick. So I can only imagine how y'all was. And wait, what's my man? I forgot my man. He said he had got, who was the doctor? Who played the doctor on the show?
Oh, Marvin Wright, babe.
Marvin told me he had got booked a few times. He got booked a few times in the black medical something field thing, and they would invite him because of the radio show.
Oh, wow.
And he was a speaker and everything. I said, "Marv, you lied to me." He's like, "Bro, as a special guest, they would invite me." I'm like,
look, that was my first experience of like having a recurring role somewhere that got like famous.
Well, listen to this. You got Scooter Wells.
No, Scooter was the guy.
He was the jock, Kiana's friend, Yvette's husband, Affion Crockett. You got Dr. Hackett's younger brother, Affion Crockett, lab technician, analyzed Sarah's blood. You got the suave Latin mailman, Affion Crockett.
The younger brother was Ron, right?
Ron, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What we're talking about, I don't know if people remember, we're talking about It's Your World, y'all. What Joey did say that. He mentioned that. But yeah.
It wasn't until Tom Joyner was doing those live shows, like he did them in LA, and then he invited us on the cruise. That's when I realized how big it was. When he
On the cruise,
introduced-
I never went on a cruise. How was that going on the cruise and people introducing you guys?
It was dope. That was my first and only cruise. I mean, I'm going on one. My second cruise is coming up shortly, but yeah, I haven't been on a cruise since then. But it was like all black people. You got
And it's nonstop partying.
Boys to Men, Casey and JoJo, Bill Bellamy. Like everything was black. The entertainment was black, the music was black, and then we got Tom Joyner, and we're like the cast. Everybody wanted to take photos with us, and this is before phones, like cell phone. Everybody was taking like Polaroids and
Brownie cameras and stuff.
yeah, it was different, man.
I got a picture right now. Let's see if you can see that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
yeah, that's Affion, and he signed it. He said, Brad, This Your World was one of my first paid gigs in LA, and many times over was my only source of cash. God showed up through the group prayers, laughs, and real extended family support. Thanks for making the journey smoother during the rough times. Thanks for providing a platform for me to be creative. Blessings and love, Affion.
Man,
Let me tell y'all a story.
I'm getting verklempt.
These 2 rings I bought from Roxanne at Graue Studios when she was selling silver.
Yeah.
I've had them ever since. So I don't care where I end up in the world. I carry y'all with me every day. I still have them.
that is dope.
Oh man, that's
That
what we
man,
gonna-
bro. You don't even know, like you said,
Man.
for that 65 for that week, you go, okay, I got some gas and I got a little lunch. Whew. Like, you know,
Yeah,
and
that
that's
love
like
too.
saying that hustle. Oh, and then when What's Poppin' happened, oh,
Yeah, we was writers. He made us writers.
Oh yeah, you
First
can see
ride-
now
that's my
you
first
can
ride
get a
to
little
see.
more money because there was a little more money to be gotten.
yes,
Yeah.
there was a writer's
Yeah.
gig. And man, and later on in my journey, when somebody said we got to do a Bible, I knew what a Bible was. Because when somebody goes, "Oh, you got to do a Bible," what are you talking about? I got to read
Right.
it. In Genesis, no, you got a Bible. So I remember going, "Oh, we got to write a Bible because that's what it is." And then at some
Yeah,
point, we can always
everybody
go
is
back to
who and this and that. You know, like okay, like for instance, like the main characters of What's Poppin', Ray Sean, the witty wordsmith of What's Poppin', and the centerpiece and blah blah blah. Dave Bean, our protagonist, main squeeze. Jack Money, salty record exec and spineless shapeshifter. LaShonda, low key, being with Ray Sean, and you know, like that.
yeah.
On and on, all the characters. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. That was that was the first time that opened me up to something when it's writing. It's more than just like, all right, we're gonna write this episode. So what happens?
Right.
What
Well, see,
happens?
I
6
learned a
weeks from
lot of
now?
that stuff from Myra J, because Myra J, she and
Oh,
I
okay.
sat in her office and we knocked out the beats and created It's Your World. She was writing for Hanging with Mr. Cooper at the time.
Oh,
Because she had them skills. She was Writers Guild member. And,
Oh,
and so
nice.
I learned a lot of that from her. I heard about Bibles, but we had to sit down and map out everything. And then you figure out what the story arc is going to be and yada, yada, yada. Yeah, man, this has been a slice, bro. This has been a slice of heaven, man. You're making me feel all Sammy Davis and Nat King Cole-ish.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Man,
Come on.
y'all my brothers for life. And anytime y'all call, I'm picking up the phone. So
man,
For sure.
that's
Here,
love,
for
man.
same here. Same here.
Well,
And
you know,
next
God,
time,
I
hopefully
thank
I'll be
you.
at home.
Well, yeah, but don't. I got to pray, but I got to say thank God for this. God, thank you for the time, the life, the experience, the love, the joy, the laughter, everything. You have been a blessing. I pray that someone is as kind to Joey and Affion and so many others from the It's Your World cast as they have been to me.
Mm.
In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. Amen.
amen. Thank you,
Amen.
sir.
Amen. Brad, I appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you, man. Love y'all, man.
I used to walk with you on the avenue. Our hearts were carefree and gay. How could I know I'd lose you? somewhere along the way. Mind if I come in? You might guess. And the friends we used to know. And would always smile, hello. And we did our love like our love, they say. And pretty. Ben love slept through our cheat. Somewhere along the way. Somewhere along the way.